Hello all, in this particular tutorial, we will learn how to install Oracle SQL Developer on Linux. Oracle SQL Developer is the best free GUI tool for DBAs and developers who would like to work with Oracle databases. And Oracle SQL Developer is from the Oracle company itself. To install the Oracle SQL Developer on Linux, you download the SQL Developer RPM, you install the SQL Developer RPM. If required, you install the supported JDK. So the steps are download SQL Developer, install SQL Developer, if required, install supported JDK. Let us proceed. Before doing something, let me go to the machine where we want to install and let's try to see if we have SQL Developer here. Let's say SQL Developer, and you can see we don't have the SQL Developer here. When we when we try to run the SQL Developer, we are getting the command not found. So we are going to install SQL Developer on this machine. So let's go to the browser of your choice and let's say download SQL Developer, and it will give you this particular link. Let's click on this particular link. Since we want we want it on the Linux machine, let's click on download, which will start downloading. I have already downloaded the software, so I'll not waste your time. Once the software has been downloaded, we'll have to transfer this. We can use the utilities such as WinSCP, or we can use the Windows PowerShell. Windows PowerShell has got the SCP inbuilt. So let's go to the location where that particular software is present. And here you can see we have got the SQL Developer. So let's transfer this particular software. So let's clear the screen. Let's say SCP SQL Developer, where we want to transfer. So let's say if we want to transfer it to machine Oracle at DB2, you can give the IP address as well. Dash the location where you want to save that particular software, home/Oracle. Before doing that, let me actually show it to you. If I have any software, and you can see I don't have Oracle SQL Developer. So let's hit enter. It will prompt you for the password. Let's enter the password. SQL Developer is getting transferred. Give it and that's done, I believe. Let's go here, do the same command, and we got SQL Developer. So if you have you can either go as a root and install it, or if you don't have the root and you have the sudo permission, you can use the sudo permission. So let's clear the screen and let's say sudo rpm -i SQL Developer. So rpm -i stands for install. I have hit the enter. The software is slightly bigger, will take some time. Let me just give a pause for few seconds. And within a few seconds, I unpaused the video because I wanted you to see that we get, and you can see we got the prompt, which means the SQL Developer is installed. Now we will run exactly same command, the SQL Developer. Let's see whether we are able to launch the SQL Developer. And here it says the minimum version to run this particular the supported JDK is 17. We don't have that. We don't have the 17, which means that the SQL Developer is failed to launch on this machine. So this is the next part that we are going to fix it. This is what I mentioned. If required, install the supported JDK. So let's do that. Let's clear this particular screen. Let's go to the browser of your choice. Let's say download Open JDK, and you can, based on Open JDK, you can choose from here or Open JDK downloads. I'll go to Open Logic, and here if you scroll down, let's say the Java version is 21, operating system, let's say Linux, architecture is 64-bit, Java package JDK. It will give us this RPMs. So let's choose the latest one if you want. And as you can see, I've already downloaded, so I'll not waste your time. So let me go back to the same directory and let me clear this. If I do the dir, you can see Open Logic is present. Let's do the SCP to that as well. We will transfer this particular software onto our Linux machine. So let's do the same thing. Oracle, where you want to transfer to at DB2, and the location home/Oracle. Again, you can use utilities such as WinSCP to do this, but WinSCP, will have to launch the WinSCP, make a connection, etc. So I'm using the Windows PowerShell SCP command. So the Open Logic is been transferred. Let's verify whether we got that. ls-lrt. Yes, we got Open Logic. So let's install that as well. So sudo rpm -i Open Logic, and that is not a big software. It won't take much time. So give it a few seconds for that's done. So when we try to launch the SQL Developer, it failed for the first time because it was not having the supported. Let's try to launch it again, and this time you can see we have successfully launched the SQL Developer, and this SQL Developer is running on a Linux machine. For the first time, if you want to import the previous preferences, you can say yes. However, since I don't have anything, I don't have a choice to click yes, so let's click no. To make a connection to the Oracle database, so let's wait for this. Here it will ask us to whether you want to allow automated usage. Basically, how you use this particular product, you want to allow it to the Oracle, you can check this, or if you don't want to allow, you can uncheck this. That's your choice. To make a connection to the Oracle database, you will have to click on plus button. So let's click on plus button. Let's give anything. This is your choice. Let's say Oracle DB. And what we are going to do here, the username who has got the access to that Oracle database that you want to make a connection, this is the password of that user. If you want to save the password so that next time it doesn't prompt, here you can either give the host name or the port. I have the IP host name. So this is the listener port, and the database name that I want to connect is Aura19D. Let's do the test connection. It is successful. If you want to connect, you can directly connect. If you want to save the connection, that it will appear in your list of connections so that you don't have to enter all of this information next time. Let's save it. Let's cancel this and let's right click on it and let's say connect, and you can see we have connected. Now the font is pretty small. What I'll do, I'll go to the tools, I'll go to the preferences, I'll go to the code editor, I'll go to the fonts, I'll go to the font size, and I'll make it probably 20 so that you guys can see it clearly. Now what we will do, we will try to create one sample table. So let's try to see if we have a table called test6. Let's see if we have a table, and table or view does not exist. So we don't have this particular table. So let's try to create one table called test6. So let's create that table test6 created. Let's verify if there are any record. There won't be any record because we just created this particular table. Yes, there are no record. Let's insert one record into that particular table with value 1. Yes, one row inserted. Let's verify that that particular record is present. Yes, it is present. If you want to commit that particular transaction, you will say commit so that that particular transaction gets permanent. So let's click on commit, and we have committed that. So basically this was a short tutorial on how to install the SQL Developer on Linux, best free tool for DBAs and developers from the Oracle itself. And to do that, we just downloaded the RPM, install the RPM. If required, install the supported JDK. Again, thank you for watching. In this particular tutorial, we just learned how to install SQL Developer. Thank you and see you next tutorial. Till then, bye bye.